Hello and welcome. Today we are looking at the F196, also known as the SG900 drone, courtesy of GearBest.com. Check out their site for more cool quadcopters just like this one. Now this drone has not one but two 720p HD cameras, one of which is used for optical flow positioning. The other one is a tiltable Wi-Fi FPV streaming camera. The drone has altitude hold, one key return, auto takeoff, auto land, and plenty of other neat features. So let's check it out. Now the drone comes in this white rectangular box, showing the drone clearly there in the front. Now this is the F196, also known as the SG900 drone for ages 14 plus. And right down here are three of its main features, such as gesture photos that automatically takes pictures with the peace sign, the two cameras, and the 22-minute long flight time. So pretty nice features there. And here on the side there's a listing of more features, such as the altitude hold, Wi-Fi FPV streaming, HD camera, one key return, USB charging, gesture photos, so on and so forth. So plenty of neat features there. And as you can see, this is the Sharks selfie drone right there. And on this side you can see there are a couple flavors here. There's a 720p camera version and a 1080p camera version, and there's also a GPS version as well. So pretty good variety there. Not much going on this side. Here in the back you could see the drone all folded and compact along with its transmitter there. And it has a mobile device, so you can see its FPV stream. So very cool. And I believe there's a white version of this as well. So now let's open it up and take a look inside here. Right away we can see the drone here in the center along with its transmitter. So pretty cool. And let's take a look at its transmitter here. Pretty neat transmitter. You do have to assemble or put on the joysticks, and as you can see, it folds out here for a mobile device, and it has these two leg stands or antennas, and it stretches out to fit your mobile device, and has a micro USB port. And here's the included micro USB charge cable. And right here is the drone, all folded and compact. Very nice. Right here, and as you can see, it says optical flow right there. And it's identical to the SG900, except that it says optical flow. And as you can see, it folds out, and you can fold it out and in any direction. So pretty cool. And overall, just a very neat looking drone there with a camera. And now here's a little bag with two spare propellers, 4 propeller guards, and a screwdriver. It would have been nice to have 4 spare propellers, but it only has 2. And right here at the bottom we have its instruction manuals and brochures on how to use the app and all the features of the drone. So pretty cool. Good explanations there and diagrams. So that's essentially it. So now let's organize all this and take a last look at the contents of the box. Now, taking a last look at the contents of the box, we have the drone itself. It's 3.7 volt 2200 milliamp LiPo battery, 2 spare propellers, would have been nice to have 4 propeller guards, a screwdriver, the transmitter along with its joysticks that you have to place in there, its micro USB charge cable, and the instruction manuals and help brochures. So that's essentially the contents of the box. Now let's take a closer look at the drone. Now, taking a closer look at the drone, this is a very interesting looking drone. This one is the F196, also known as the SG900. And right here at the top it says optical flow, whereas the SG900 doesn't. And right here is its on-off button. And right here is its triangular pattern. And it is a brushed motor quadcopter where each corner has an end cap that you simply remove, and you can simply snap in or slide in the propeller guards. And as you can see, it has good lights for night flying or orientation. Right here in the front, you can see its 720p HD wide-angle lens camera. And it is manually tiltable just about 90 degrees, as you can see there. So you can definitely have a good view of the ground. But you can also do that with this other camera right down here, which is the optical flow positioning camera. So we have two cameras right here. They're both HD cameras. And you can use or switch between either camera using the app. So very cool. And right here is its Wi-Fi antenna. So very good. And right down here is its battery bay. So you can see the battery latches right here on the side to remove the battery. It is a little tricky to remove it. You have to pull the latches back and kind of pull it out in a certain angle like that. And inside here, supposedly there is an SD card slot, but not on this model. The slot is empty, it's unused. But in the 1080p model and GPS model, I believe the SD card slot is available, and you can insert an SD card in there to record higher quality footage. But this one streams it through Wi-Fi. And here is the battery, which is a 3.7 volt 2200 milliamp LiPo battery, and it does take about an hour and a half to 2 hours to fully charge right here through its micro USB port with the included micro USB charge cable, where you would simply plug it in and charge it. And it is highly recommended to use the included micro USB charge cable, as it has a light to indicate that it's charging. Use any other micro USB cable at your own risk. So you would just simply charge that there, and once it's fully charged, it does provide the quadcopter with around a 22-minute flight time, which is very impressive. So now let's snap it back in here, which is also a little tricky. You have to do it at an angle and just pop it back in there. But once it's placed in there, it is very secure. And it does have these foamy landing legs, which do the job, even though they could eventually wear out, which might scrape the plastic further down the road. But aside from that, it does have a good build quality and is a very sturdy drone. And it's very easy to fold and compact, as you can see here. As long as you align the propellers, you can start in any direction, whether it be with the front legs or the rear legs, just simply as long as you align the propellers as such. But a very neat, sleek looking drone here, as you can see, all nice and folded and compact. And you can see the camera there, and just a very interesting drone here. And the arms just simply snap into place. There are no latches or anything like that. They just simply snap back into place like so. And overall a very reliable, dependable body and construction. So a very good frame there. So now let's take a closer look at the transmitter. Now, taking a closer look at the transmitter, this is a very smooth and comfortable transmitter, and it does have a built-in 3.7 volt 390 milliamp LiPo battery that charges right here at the bottom with the included micro USB cable. And it is a very lightweight and comfortable transmitter, so very easy to hold. And right here at the top, it has these folding arms to insert the mobile device. And it also has these folding antennas or legs that are probably for aesthetic purposes. And the arms do stretch out quite a bit to insert a large cell phone, but not quite a tablet. And now going over the controls a bit, we have the left throttle stick followed by the right rudder stick, and right here in the center we have the on-off button. So we would simply activate the unit like so, and the red light there indicates the signal strength, while the 3 white lights indicate the battery charge. And here's the rates of speed button, and there are 3 rates of speed. Here's the 1 key return button, and right here on the right there is the video and photo button that is probably meant for the 1080p SD card version of this quadcopter. And right here at the upper back we have 4 buttons. These 2 right here on this side are null. They don't seem to be used. They don't beep or anything like that. And then this one right here is the headless mode button, and this one right here is the auto takeoff and auto land button. So those are essentially the controls. It does take about 30 minutes to an hour to fully charge, and it does provide the quadcopter with around an 80 to 100 meter range of control. So that's essentially it for the transmitter. Now let's take a closer look at setting the quadcopter up for its first flight and its app. Now, setting the drone up for its first time flight is very straightforward. Once you have a fully charged battery inserted into the drone, along with having the transmitter fully charged, you would first activate the drone by pressing its on-off button located here at the top. You simply press that, and you should notice the lights start to blink right away. Then you turn on the transmitter right here, and then at that point you just simply bind to the quadcopter by moving the left stick up and down. Next, you want to make sure you calibrate the gyros by moving both sticks down and out like so, and you should see the lights start to blink like that. Make sure this is done at the ground level, flat, with the quadcopter not moving. So now you are bound and fully calibrated. Next, you should connect to the drone's Wi-Fi and proceed to launch its app. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Now, once in your mobile device's Wi-Fi settings, you want to look for an entry that says M8_720p and a serial number. And if you have the 1080p version of this quadcopter, it may say M8_1080p with a serial number. But in any case, you want to connect to that, and initially there is no default Wi-Fi password or anything like that. So you could just simply go ahead and connect to that. Once that's connected to, you go ahead and launch this app right here, which is called H-Fun for Have Fun. And it's in both the iOS and Android app stores, and it has this black icon. So once you've downloaded that, you go ahead and launch it, and you'll be greeted with this screen right here. And as you could see in the center, we are already connected to the drone's Wi-Fi as shown right here. And there are some settings here that we can scroll through. You could perform a firmware update, and there's also some language settings and options here. So a few items here that we can configure. And now going back to the main screen, you can calibrate the drone and control it through the app, so the controller is optional. And there are 2 modes here. There's master and flight, where one is just FPV and the other one is meant to control the quadcopter. So we'll start in flight mode. And as you can see, we have the 2 virtual sticks in the center of the app, and we already have an FPV feed right here. So a pretty good feed here, and the FPV range is around 80 to 100 meters. So pretty good. So pretty clear as well. And now we can also switch between this front camera and the bottom facing camera at the bottom of the drone. We simply push this icon here, and now it switches to the optical flow camera, as you can see here. So now we have a feed from the bottom camera, which is pretty neat, and it's pretty clear in HD. So while in flight, you can dynamically switch between the front facing camera or the bottom one if necessary. Now we're switching back to the front facing camera, as you can see here. So very good display, very clear, and just a good feed overall with a good range. Now briefly going over the app here, we have the left throttle stick and right rudder stick in the center of the app for virtual controls. And then this will take us back to the main menu where we can switch between flight and master modes. But we'll go back to flight here by hitting start. This icon toggles between the two cameras. This is for the photo gallery or album. This is the auto takeoff, auto land button. Here's the emergency stop button. And right up here in the corner, we have our special modes. You can see right across there. And starting with this one is the split screen display for the mobile device FPV goggles. This one on the far right is the headless mode. This right here will do the waypoints mode, so you draw a pattern and the quadcopter will fly that pattern. This one right here does the hand gestures, where there are a couple of hand gestures to automatically take selfies and whatnot. And then we can rotate the screen or camera, so we can invert that if necessary. And right here we can change the rates of speed from 100, 30, and 60, as you can see there. And then we have our photo and video buttons, and we also have the physical buttons on the controller, but the better response comes from the app using those photo and video buttons. And right here we can switch to master, which is essentially the same thing, only we don't have the virtual controls. Right here you can see the gesture display here. We're doing the peace sign, and as you can see, the app can track it, so that's pretty neat. So that's essentially it for the drone. It has plenty of features, has pretty good flight characteristics. It would have been nice if the 720p version of this quadcopter had an SD card slot for more smoother, higher quality video. But unfortunately, we have to record the video from streaming through the mobile device. But aside from that, it is a well-built quadcopter and a lot of fun to fly. So let's take it out and see how she performs.